I want you to write down the pinnacle version of yourself, the best version of yourself. Begin to write those things down, begin to list those things. And I want you to make a conscious effort to show up every single day as that person, as courageous, as powerful, as giving, as an incredible leader, as an expert. Show up as that person. And as you begin to show up as that person online, offline, you're going to begin to establish a brand for yourself. In the chat box, guys, the first thing I want to say is this. My name is Malachi J. Turner, for those of you who do not know me. And this platform, Ambassadors of the Kingdom, otherwise known as ALTK, is with the purpose of this. It is to give people success principles. It's to give people life principles, right? So no matter what your background is, no matter what your race is, your ethnicity, no matter where you're from, no matter what your experience is in life and in business, we have two goals: to give you success principles and God principles. We really believe that they're one and the same. And the entire message above all else is to show people that if you practice God's principles, you can participate in his promises. So if you're excited about that message, y'all go ahead and type a 777 on Instagram. Y'all type a 777 on Facebook, type a 777 on Zoom, and continue to share this out. If you are watching the recording on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're watching it live, go ahead and share this out with somebody live. Send it to a leader, send it to somebody who you want to see win, because I promise you guys this, what it is that I'm going to go over today. Y'all know my style. It's effective, not eternal. I don't plan to be here with you for too long. But the first thing that I want to do above all else is really give you some value. Somebody type value in the chat. Somebody type value in the chat. It is incredible to see y'all doing the thing. Absolutely. You know, we got to. Bruce, what's up, man? How you feeling? Y'all let me know something. Somebody type value. Now, as I get into this value, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you first how to apply it. So listen, I understand that every single one of you doesn't necessarily have to be in sales, right? But take the principles of what it is that I'm saying. While this is a call for salespeople, it's also a call for aspiring salespeople. And what do I mean when I say sales? You'll understand what it means when I begin to unpack that. But I want you to take this information and don't be small-minded. Take this information and I want you to think about how you can apply it in your life. You know, they say knowledge is not power, but rather applied knowledge is power. So one of the very best things that you can do for yourself is if you've got the chance, take notes, right? I'm going to be here with y'all about 20-25 minutes. Take notes, right? I also have this recording. Go back and watch the recording. Take the time to really unpack what it is that I am saying. Okay, so first and foremost, you know, the first thing I'm going to get into is this, right? How to sell like a pro. Somebody type like a pro in the chat. Somebody type like a pro in the chat. Why do I say like a pro? Because listen, I used to be an amateur, and amateurs don't get very big results. How many guys want results on this call? How many guys want to take your results to the next level? You want to elevate what it is that you're experiencing. You want a bigger, better reality. Well, the way that you get a bigger, better reality, the way that you go to a new level is by deciding to go pro. Somebody type go pro, go pro, go pro. Type it every single place: Facebook, Instagram, Zoom, type go pro. Why is it important to become a professional? A professional, ladies and gentlemen, is somebody with skills, right? Somebody with skills. And what I need for y'all to know is that skills pay the bills. So the best thing you can do for yourself is begin to acquire some skills. How many guys know that person that's just wishing on a star to become successful? How many guys know that person that's just wishing on a star to go out there and actually make it happen, right? What I want to ask you guys is this: Does wishing on a star help anybody become successful? Tell the truth in the chat box. Yay or nay? Coach Hunter, I see you, man. Harris Rose, I see you. Shannon, I see you. Right? I see every single person, but the question that I really do have for you is, when is the last time you've seen somebody wish for success and become successful? How many of you guys have wished to become successful and you wish to accomplish something and it wasn't the wish that made it happen? One of the reasons why I love my athletic background, right, is because in sports, if you wanted to become better, you could. And they got this saying, it goes like this: hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. Okay, so your attitude is what you can control. Your work ethic is what it is that you can control. The skills that you acquire is what it is that you can control. So if you are that person who's just hoping and wishing for success, or hoping and wishing that you accomplish your goals, sorry, this is not the call for you. But if you're really willing to elevate and to grow, and you're willing to change, I'm telling you, things can actually change. So how many guys are ready to learn how to sell like a pro? How many of y'all want to learn how to sell like a boss? Type 777 in the chat box. Type 777. Yes, absolutely. Follow great people to be a great person. Yes, absolutely. Money Man is on the call. Good to see you. I see every single one of you. So the first thing is this, guys. Number one, this call is not going to be very long. I'm going to be short, sweet, to the point, but I'm going to give you 5 biggest mistakes people make when selling. The 5 biggest mistakes. Okay. So listen, is this going to cover every single thing on how to be an expert salesperson? No, it is not. If I did that, I have to charge y'all. Just kidding. Maybe I won't charge y'all, but we will have to come back on another call. For this call, I'm going to keep it short, sweet, to the point. I'm going to give you 5, just 5 of the biggest mistakes that if you can avoid them, you will become a much better salesperson. So number one is this. The biggest mistake, number one, that people make in sales is thinking selling is something that you do to people instead of for people. So I'm gonna say that again slowly for those of you guys who did not hear me the first time. The biggest mistake, number one, that people make in sales is thinking that selling is something that you do to people instead of for people. So what do I mean by that? How many of you guys have noticed or have seen a negative connotation painted around sales? Yes, have you kind of seen that? And this isn't all of you, but how many guys notice that sales, sometimes in society, in the public, they've kind of given it this negative connotation. They've kind of given it this sour taste. When you think sales, you kind of think, oh, that's somebody who's twisting people's arm. Sales, oh my goodness, that's somebody who's just really, really good with their words, and they're manipulating people into doing things, right? How many guys know that can be, not is, but can be the connotation around sales? How many guys have seen that, right? It can be kind of negative. So listen, that is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make, is thinking that selling is something that you do to people. How many guys also have sold something and subconsciously you feel like they're doing you a favor? Yes. How many guys have ever felt that, like, man, if I sell them, like, man, I got them, right? Those salespeople trying to get people, right? You got those salespeople who are in it for themselves. How many guys have seen this? 777 in the chat. Yes, we've all seen it. But let me tell you something. Just because you get paid does not mean you're the only one receiving value. Come on, stay with me. I'm going to tell you guys how to take your sales to an entirely new level. And I'm going to show you how, whether it's in business or whether it is anything, sales is an incredible skill to have as a parent. Sales is an incredible skill to have, I'll tell you, in a lot of different areas. But the first thing that's important that you know is that you selling something doesn't mean you're the only person getting value. It's one of the biggest, most common misconceptions. You have to change your mentality on that, right? It stops so many people from elevating because they think, when I'm selling, I'm taking from people. No, a good salesperson is giving to people. Let me ask you guys this question. If you could pay $1,000 to make $10,000, would you take that deal? Yes or no? If you could pay $1,000 to make $10,000, okay, would you take that deal? Yes or no? Every single one of you should be saying yes, 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 if you can do basic math. Okay. So why would you do that? Because you're receiving more than what it is that you are giving. Okay. You are receiving more than what it is that you are giving. Right? So a good salesperson, when you are good, you're actually doing them a favor. How many guys agree with that? Somebody type yes in all caps in the chat box. Y'all type yes in all caps in the chat box. Okay. When you're good. Now, listen, I used to suck. Okay, I'll be the first to say, when you're bad, you're trying to convince people to do stuff. You feel like you're taking from people. You feel like everybody, is supposed to be giving to you. No, a good salesperson is actually doing them a favor. So what it is that I want you guys to do is this: as you go out there into the marketplace and you offer your product or service, number one, make sure you believe in it. Because if you don't believe in it, well, I can't help you. Now you're really not helping people. Now you are doing people a disservice. But if you do believe in it, ladies and gentlemen, okay, if you are confident in it, ladies and gentlemen, what it is that you are doing is, see, now you're actually providing value to them. Okay. How many guys would agree with that? Somebody type yes in the chat box. How many guys would agree with that? Type yes in the chat box. Okay. Listen, I'm going to continue to move forward. The first thing is this, guys. Now, how many guys notice that in movies, sometimes the bad people are always the rich people? Guys, they don't call movies movies just because they're moving pictures. They call movies movies because they're moving you from where you are on the chessboard to where they want you on the chessboard. Let me say that again. They don't just call movies movies because there's moving pictures. They call movies movies because they're moving you from where you are on the chessboard to where they want you on the chessboard. Ladies and gentlemen, what entertains you trains you. So listen, some of you who are watching these movies, and I'm watching the movies too, you got to understand that when you're seeing them, that there's a message, there's undertones. And in the movies, why does it seem like it's always the bad rich people? Lex Luthor, Superman's arch nemesis, right? He's a rich guy, right? The Green Goblin, pretty sure he's a multi-billionaire. Okay, he's a rich. These are rich businessmen. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, my man Nick is on the call. What's up, my guy? Yo, what's going on? Carly's on the call. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, Jalicia. Okay. Rich people are not bad people. And if you spend the rest of your life believing that rich people are all bad people, you're never going to manifest riches into your life. Okay, so the narrative is always usually that the rich people are bad. That's not true. So remember, I'm telling you how to sell like a pro. Don't think I forgot the message. You want to increase your sales. You want to become a more skilled salesperson. You want to actually elevate and go to the next level in your business or in your life. The first thing you need to do, and the first mistake you must stop making, is thinking selling is something that you're doing to people instead of doing it for people. If mistake number one is clear and I can move forward, somebody type yes, sir, in the chat. Somebody type yes, sir, in the chat. What's going on Facebook? I see y'all. It is amazing to see you. Amazing to see you. Okay. Somebody type yes, sir, and we're going to go ahead and move this thing forward. Okay. The next thing is this. Don't make the second mistake that salespeople make is they don't make enough offers. I'm going to get excited about this because this is something that I have truly implemented. And it's something that I know is stopping a lot of people. And when you're in sales, can I tell you that you must know your daily vitamin? When you are in sales, you must know your daily vitamin, right? I think it was last week or a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the 4 mental enemies, probably last week, and one of them was rejection. Guys, if you're not making sales, you're not making enough offers. I'm talking about even if you're terrible, even if you are terrible, there is something called the law of averages. It is a numbers game. Okay. There's something called the law of averages. It's a numbers game. Most people are not making enough offers. They don't want to do the numbers. They don't want to reach out to people. They don't want to make the ask. They don't want to simply ask people. Let me ask you guys a question, right? So when you roll through the McDonald's drive-through, through the Burger King drive-through, through the Carl, whatever, the Chick-fil-A, and they say, "Hey, sir, hey, ma'am, do you want to try our triple bacon cheeseburger today?" And you say no, do you think they care? Yes or no? Type the answer in the chat box. Crypto King Nick, what's up, my guy? Okay. M. Scott, what's up, my man? Okay. When they ask you, do you want this triple bacon cheeseburger? And you say, no, ma'am, I don't. Can I have the chicken tenders? Do you think they are still thinking about what it is that you said? Yes or no? All of y'all should be saying no, no, no. Why? Because guys, they're not thinking about it later because it's just business. But they know that if they keep asking that question, eventually somebody is going to say yes. Eventually somebody says yes, but they're not going home later that night like, oh my gosh, Nick didn't want my cheeseburger, so now I'm in my feelings. But they came out with the campaign in the beginning, right? That they were going to make the ask, right? So most people aren't willing to be bad first. Can I tell you guys this? In the beginning, we're not always great. But there's a quote that goes like this: you don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started to ever be great. I'm going to say it again. You don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started in order to be great. Okay. So some of us, we don't want to be seen at the bottom. Some of us, we don't want to be seen at the beginning. Some of us, we don't want to be caught in our process. Why? Because you can't get better and look cute at the same time. Some of us is trying to look cute and get better. You want to act like you've already made it, right? You want to, be super polished, super prepared. You want to always make sure you're just on point. And guys, I that's great that you want to start off and you have a standard for yourself, but I'm just hate to burst your bubble. You can't get better and look cute at the same time. You're going to be bad before you get good. I was willing to suck. I had no idea that it was going to be as much of a journey as it was, but I'm glad I stuck it through. Why? Because you must allow yourself time to get good. So listen, it doesn't matter what you're promoting. It doesn't matter what you're building. It doesn't matter what you're selling. The whole point is this: you're going to have to go through the numbers and go through the numbers and go through the numbers until you get the philosophies down, until you learn how to answer the objections, until you learn what usually stops people from buying, until you learn how to listen to what people are saying and also what they are not saying, until you learn the difference in tonality and what tonality creates a positive feeling in them versus what creates and triggers a negative feeling in them. Does this make sense? Yes or yes? Somebody type yes in the chat box. Absolutely. Coach Hunter said it best. He said, good is the enemy of great. Come on, y'all type some fire emojis in the chat box for that. Good is the enemy of great. Type some fire emojis in the chat box for that. We all want to be so, in the beginning, we get so caught up, ladies and gentlemen, on trying to be the best when you don't start out at the top. Okay? So stop trying to do it, ladies and gentlemen. You know what my mentality was when I first started in business back in 2016? It was, I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm going to get it done no matter what. I began with the end in mind, and I'm still on my journey, by the way. I'm still on my process, by the way, but I'm not where I used to be. Ladies and gentlemen, it's so important that you know. It's so important that you are aware that the mentality must be, I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm going to do it tired. I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to do it anxious. I'm going to do it doubtful, right? I'm going to do it when I don't feel like doing it. And this is principles that apply to everything, not just sales. Guys, I had the mentality when I watched other people succeeding for themselves. I said, if they can do it, I can do it. Right? If God has no respect to person, he'll do it for one, he'll do it for another. You have to have the mentality that I'm going to do it no matter what. So when you're doing it and you're not the most talented, when you're doing it and you're not the most skilled, when you're doing it and it's not working, ladies and gentlemen, you got to do it anyways. Why? Because all work works. Hear me on this. Let it work on you until it works for you. Say it again. All work works. Let it work on you until it works for you. Make sense? Type of 777 in the chat box. Make sense? Type of 7. No. Type of AOTK in the chat box. Type of AOTK in the chat box if that made sense. Guys, if it's not working for you in your life yet, that means it's working on you. Okay? Nothing changes if you don't change. You know what's crazy? Guys, I can't even tell you the amount of calls that I've been on with people. I can't tell you the amount of times I was pounding the pavement, talking to people, how many asks that I made, how many offers that I made, how many approaches that I made. But I was willing to be bad before I ever got good. Some of us are not willing to be bad. So mindset plus skill set equals assets. Mindset plus skill set, come on, equals assets. So the mentality, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm not going to stop until what, Malachi? Until you get the job done, until you get to where you're supposed to go. That's the problem. See, we want to just embark upon a journey and say, I'm going to do it until I don't feel like doing it. No, it's do it until you get what it is that you came for. Speak what you seek until you see what you said. Speak what you seek until you see what you said. Okay? Mindset plus skill set equals assets. Who's ready for number 3? Can I get some threes rolling in the chat? Can I get some threes rolling in the chat? Yeah, I'm going to give you guys the third biggest mistake that people make that kills their ability in sales. Third biggest mistake that people make is this: trying to find buyers. Listen, trying to find buyers, ladies and gentlemen, is a mistake. Why do I say trying to find buyers is a mistake? Well, I'm not going to say that it's entirely just finding buyers. That's not good. But what I am going to say is not enough salespeople are making themselves more easily discoverable to people who already want to buy your product. Okay. Right? Too many salespeople are not making themselves easily discoverable to people who already want to buy their product. Okay, so listen, right? When people Google your name, how many pages come up? What are you known for? Right? And I want you guys to start thinking about this. I want you guys to start considering this. What are you known for? And here's what it is that I want to do. Okay, I want to ask y'all on Zoom. I want to ask y'all on Facebook. I want to ask y'all on Instagram. What do you want to be known for? Type it in the chat. Come on, y'all talk to me now. Y'all talk to me. What do you want to be known for? Type it in the chat box. Marquell says being the best. I love that. Come on, what do y'all want to be known for? Somebody let me know in the chat box. Okay. Is it being a great salesperson? Okay, so Sean says positively impacting trillions of lives. Zach says helping others reach financial freedom. Marquell says, you search my name, you see greatness. Philip says spiritual improvement. Come on, guys, this is the kind of things that you want to be conscious of, and you want to begin to brand yourself. Empowering people, Coach Hunter says. You want to begin to put yourself out there in a way where people can see you the way that you see yourself. But you have to be intentional. It's not something that happens just because it's in your mind. How you see the self, how you see yourself is how the world will see you. Okay. How you see yourself is how the world will actually see you. Okay. So I want you guys, listen, biggest mistake number 3 is people don't make themselves discoverable enough, right? To people who already want to buy their product, even if you're just selling your brand, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Absolutely. Paint yourself as a person of value. Put yourself out there as an expert in your given field. Start to position yourself as somebody people can look to. Does that make sense? Okay. You want to begin to show up. Come on, this is so good. You want to show like watch this, right? Everything you guys just said, empowering people, greatness, being the best. I want you to actually take this activity, and as we leave this call, I want you to write down the pinnacle version of yourself, the best version of yourself. Begin to write those things down, begin to list those things, and I want you to make an conscious effort to show up every single day as that person, as courageous, okay, as powerful, right, as giving, as an incredible leader, as an expert, okay? Show up as that person. And as you begin to show up as that person, right, online, offline, you're going to begin to establish a brand for yourself. And what's going to begin to happen is this: you won't be doing as much of the hunting, so to speak. People will be hunting you. You set yourself on fire and people will come from miles to watch you burn. Okay. But that happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you're intentional. So now you're not necessarily going out there to sell to people. People are selling you on why you should work with them. People are coming to you so that you can offer your product, your service. People are coming to you for the value that you present, for what it is that you have to give. Does that make sense? Type of AOTK in the chat box. Does that make sense? Type of AOTK in the chat box. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Taylor, I see you. Welcome, welcome. We're going to go ahead and take it down to number 4. Okay. Number 4, ladies and gentlemen, is selling what you want to sell. Now, this is controversial, but I'm excited to talk about it. Okay. She said, Google me, baby. Absolutely. Come on, come on. All right. Somebody type Google me, right? Somebody type Google me in the chat box. I love that. Okay. Say you can .com me, right? You want to begin to build a brand for yourself. But listen, here's something that I want to talk about. And it is a little bit more controversial, but I'm excited to be able to talk about it because I can just tell you what's worked for me. Now, there's a saying that goes like this: do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Now, mind you, while this is true, can I provide a different perspective? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat box. Can I provide a little bit of a different perspective? I want to just tell you guys the truth, because this is something that I think stops a lot of people. Now, while I think it's important to love what you do, it's very important. It's also important to love why you're doing it. And I don't want you guys to be deceived. I don't want you to be deceived into thinking that you're supposed to feel good. I don't want a misconception around that statement to now you feel like, oh, I got to feel good every day going to work. Yes, but can I tell you the truth? You're not always going to feel good. It's not always going to be something that you want to do. The work isn't always going to feel good, especially not in sales. You think people telling you that, telling you no all the time, and, things are not happening your way, and then life gets in the way, and then now all of a sudden, again, there's risk attached to what it is that you're doing, and then things take a turn of events, and, can I tell you, you're not always going to feel good when adversity hits. It's not always going to feel good when you're trying to get what 1% of people have. Guys, if you're trying to cross over into the 1% of people in any area, in any arena, can I tell you that that's probably not always going to feel good? Because guess what? If it always felt good, ladies and gentlemen, everybody would do it. So don't be confused into thinking that for some reason you're supposed to only, in this case, number four biggest mistake that people make in sales, okay, is selling what they want to sell. Okay, selling what it is that they want to sell. Listen, this is I didn't say it, so don't shoot the messenger. But Warren Buffett said if you want a hobby, right? I believe it was Warren Buffett said something like, if you want a hobby, sell what it is that you like. But if you want to make a fortune, if you want a business, then sell what it is that the world likes. Okay. So that's so powerful, ladies and gentlemen, because the person, right, who may own a concrete, business, do you think that they have to be passionate about concrete to actually run that business? Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But the point is, you know what that does do if it's a successful business? It provides freedom for their family, right? It provides freedom for that person. Okay. So all I'm trying to tell you, don't get caught up into thinking I have to be passionate about what I'm doing every single day. There's a price you have to pay. And I know the gurus online. I know what they told you in the ad. I know they made it look super good and they made it look like it was sunshine and rainbows to get straight to the top and it can happen overnight and change your life in 30 days. I think that's all incredible. Actually, I don't. Let me stop playing. It's not incredible because it's not real. Okay. So don't just think, ladies and gentlemen, that you're supposed to only sell what you like, and don't think you're only supposed to do what you like. Sometimes you have to do what you don't like as a means to an end. Does that make sense? Type in AOTK in the chat box. Okay. Does that make sense? Somebody type in AOTK in the chat box, because too many of us, we look at something that we know we should be doing, but because it doesn't feel good, we say, I'm not going to do it. It's the wrong way to look at it. I'm sorry that they told you that, but they deceived you. You're not supposed to like it every day. You're not supposed to feel good about it every day. It's not supposed to just come with ease. It should make you uncomfortable. And if you're not getting uncomfortable, I'm sorry to tell you, you're not actually growing. Your comfort zone is your broke zone. Your comfort zone is your plateau zone. You get nothing from being comfortable. So put yourself in a position, right, where you're doing whatever you're doing to get what it is that you want. Now, don't get me wrong, right? I love impacting the lives of other people. That's why I'm on a call like this. Right, my goals is to impact and affect the lives of other people. So watch this. Yes, what it is that I do is obviously going to have something to do with that, but at the same time, I do other things that no, I'm not passionate about. I do other things that no, I don't necessarily love doing every single moment of the day. I do it because of what it is that it's going to do for me. I do it because of what it is that it's going to do for my family. Guys, there's pros and cons to everything. Okay. There's pros and cons to everything. So don't let the next time somebody tells you, oh, well, you should love it, right, in order to do it. I can't necessarily agree with that. You have passion, you have purpose, and then you also have the job that needs to get done. Sometimes you just got to get the job done. Okay. So don't be deceived, right? So mistake number 4, just to recap, for those of you guys that missed it, again, is going to be selling what it is that you want to sell. No, you don't always need to sell what it is that you want to sell. That's not smart. I cannot, well, it depends on what you want. If you don't want to have, look, I'm trying to say this in a way I'm trying to be politically correct. Okay. You guys know what it is that I'm saying, and what I'm saying is, again, it depends on your goal. So I'm not going to pretend everybody has the same goal. Different people have different goals. But if your goal is increase, if your goal is to create a business, if your goal is to actually increase sales, and we're not talking about hobbies, then yes, don't just sell what you want, sell what's going to get you to your goal, whatever your goal is. Make sense? Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Malik, I see you, brother. I see every single one of you. It's amazing to see you here with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Zoom. Last but not least is trying to get people to buy. Let me put y'all on game. Let me put you on game. This is an amateur mistake that amateurs make. They try to get people to buy. You say, Malachi, isn't that what sales is all about? You're trying to get folks to buy, right? No, not necessarily. It's a waste of time. That's what amateurs do. When I was first getting started in business and sales, I didn't know any better. I was just trying to like get people to do stuff. They said no. I'm like, you know what? Let me just try to get them to want to do it. And let me sit here and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and try to get them to think like I'm thinking. That is not, look, I'm giving y'all keys now. If you say it, they doubt it. But if they say it, then it must be true. I'm giving you guys, listen, I'm gonna say it again, because some of you guys said, what does that mean? I'm gonna say it again slow. If you say it, they doubt it. But if they say it, then it must be true. Good salespeople listen more than they speak. That's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen more than you speak. So an amateur is going to try to get somebody to buy by talking and talking and talking and talking. That is a rookie mistake. That is not a solid, skilled salesperson. A real qualified, skilled salesperson is not going to try to get people to buy. They're going to create an environment that makes people feel like buying through questions, right? Through things like the energy that's being transmitted. Okay, people will forget what you say, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. Okay, so a skilled salesperson is not going to go out there trying to get people to do stuff. And no, guys, you shouldn't have to get people to do anything. Create an environment that makes people feel like buying from you at any price. If you can create that environment, if you can give them that feeling, ladies and gentlemen, where they just want to buy, there will never be anything that you can't afford. There will never be anywhere that you cannot go. There will never be any limit to what it is that you can accomplish and achieve if you can stop trying to get people to buy and rather create an environment that makes them feel like buying. Somebody says, Malachi, can you go into more depth on that? That'll have to be for the next call, because that is today's Saturday AOTK webinar. Hopefully you guys got some value. If you did, type value on my last Instagram post. And I want to say this, I definitely enjoy being able to give you guys these calls. If you're watching on YouTube, one more time, subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell, help us grow, support this, share it with a family member, share it with a friend. And in addition to that, I want you guys to know this. My main message above all else is if you practice God's principles, you can participate in his promises. Okay. We also have a free Discord server. So if you want to join the Discord server, you can go on my Instagram story. I dropped the link. You can join it. We've got a community. We exchange value, network with one another, grow with one another. And that being said, I'm going to go ahead and save the rest for next Saturday. If you're going to be there next Saturday, okay, definitely type in AOTK in the chat box. And I can't wait to see y'all next time.